Happy Sunday, everybody. What's going on? You know, it's been a pretty crazy week, um, and I haven't. I've had a lot on my mind and a lot to talk about at different times during the week, but just never had the had it to me to pick up the phone and start recording anything to say, just because it's been kind of a heavy week, to be honest with you. Um, I'll just kind of briefly touch what's been going on, but the third round of chemo was a little more difficult to handle this round. It just really set in and made me pretty fatigued and just tired, and the side effects, which are all just sensational type things, cold to touch and different little pains here and there, were more prominent this go around, and just kind of took a toll on me throughout the week. It took a lot more to get my motors going this week. Um, those that are close and have seen me this week know exactly what I'm talking about. But that was the the side effects from the treatment, which all in all everything has been good, and for the most part I haven't had any real setbacks at all, and I've been feeling real good moving along in the process here. So that's all been okay and good. We're looking forward to a great week, and then getting back to number 4 and the halfway point of the chemo treatments this week. But we're just going to keep moving forward on that end. Some other stuff that's been kind of weighing on me and playing a huge effect on my life this week. My grandfather hasn't been doing that well, and those that know me good know that my pop has been a very instrumental part of my life, and as he has for our entire family. Everybody in the family just looks up to Pop so much, and he's always been everybody's biggest cheerleader and everybody's biggest inspiration, and he's going to continue to remain that. He's fighting a couple different battles right now, but fighting hard and showing us what it's all about, to have that higher power that I've been talking about and been trying to be a beacon of, which is strength through perseverance and all that. And Pop is up against it right now. Recently, before the new year, he was diagnosed with bladder cancer and has been fighting that at 87, and has been doing really well fighting that. But since then, after the turn of the year, he's developed some infections and different things that's been moving throughout his body, and it's been taking a toll on him. He had a couple minor strokes this last week, and things weren't looking real good, guys. And it was very difficult for me because I love him so much, and he's, like I said, been such a major part of my life. And I'll tell you a little story about him afterwards, but it took a lot on me because I can't go see him because of the state that I'm in. I got to stay as healthy as I could be, and stay away from environments that have sickness. And he's carrying different infections and possible viruses right now with what he's going through. So it's definitely not safe to see him, but also to be around that hospital. So to say this week has been difficult, not knowing what the future holds for him, has been one of the biggest tests that I've had to go through in a long time, and has been very difficult. So the week has been tough, but I got to see him on FaceTime thanks to Dana, and the family was all there, and he's back to his joking self. He's got a long way to go to get his strength back and all that, but we're just rejoicing in the fact that this man has absolutely not an ounce of quit in him, and will continue to fight and show us what perseverance and what being a warrior is all about. Okay, and I'm gonna keep carrying on with that because he's always been the strength for me, and always been a huge rock in my life. He's been in every grandstand that I've ever played in, with minus a couple that have been thousands of miles away. But to say that that he's been the beacon of strength and perseverance is, to say the least, about him and how I feel about him. I'll finish with a little story. A lot of you that know me know that I grew up as an athlete, played a lot of different sports. My dad and my grandpa were coaches of many of those teams growing up. I was a pretty good athlete. As a kid, I played baseball, I played basketball, I tried football, got my butt kicked a lot in that sport because I was such a small guy, believe it or not, standing at 6'5" and 250 nowadays, thinking that I was one of the smallest guys on my team all the way through my freshman year of high school is pretty hard to believe for some, but it's the truth. And I got my butt handed to me quite a bit in and off the field, being that guy. But Pop has always told me, Garrett, think 6'5". Think 6'5". He told me this from when I was a young boy. And it wasn't that saying and thinking that actually made me 6'5". I imagine genetics and all that and the way God made me has a lot to do with that, other than just my power of thought. But the thing is that power of thought is very powerful. And although thinking 6'5" doesn't always make you 6'5", it was a testament and kind of a saying that shows that you are what you believe, right? Going into college, after I did reach getting 6'5", and some college scouts started paying attention to me, I did make it into the college ranks, and I had some surgeries, 4 to be exact, on my right knee. I grew abnormally fast between my freshman and sophomore year, and had surgeries to try and correct that. And ultimately, going into college, I had to quit after my freshman year. I didn't play because 2 weeks into the season, during practice and all that, my knee locked up, and I had to have my last 2 surgeries in a row within 2 weeks, actually. And then that doctor, through the rehab and all that, it just wasn't foreseeable for me to get back to playing at that level. And so I hung him up. For a couple years and went down certain paths and had a lot of fun, but was partying a lot and was making, some bad choices here and there, and developed some bad habits. Those that know, as I was a, cigarette smoker for a long time. That was developed during that time, and all that stuff, and just making some poor decisions. But then, I always stayed close to my family, and Pop always told me, you can always do what you always want to do. He knew that I had a burning desire to get back on the court, and I was still starting to play again at the parks and getting back in shape and doing my thing. And the parks is what brought me back to it, and playing with Gurn and Factor and Troy and Mike Lanning and those guys, we used to be S5, going to all the parks around locally throughout the different cities and getting back into rare form. And then meeting my wife, Amy, her sweeping me off my feet had me thinking that, she was going to be long-term. And so I wanted to start doing something with my life. And Pop told me during that time when I first met Amy that, Garrett, she's a keeper. She's wife material. I think I could see you with her. This was when I was 20 years old, and she was just turning 18, and we were just getting to know each other. My pop had an idea that Amy would be the girl. Here, 21, going on 22 years later, what do you know, Pop? We're still going at it. And he and my grandma are the example of how to have a long-standing relationship and how to love through adversities and everything, and just such a great example to follow. But he was also that guy that was there during that time that I was going through a rough patch and finding myself, and I was encouraged to get back into to go talk to my old college coach, and where he took me back in open arms and went on to have a pretty fruitful college career. Got a couple full ride scholarships out of that, and got to do something that not a lot of people get to do, and which I'm very proud of, and was a major part of my life. And he was part of that, and he just keeps showing up throughout life. And I thought about this on this way up to this crest here overlooking Orange County, about how he just kept showing up through life, showing me that through perseverance and sticking to what I wanted to do and what I wanted to do with my life, as long as I was doing the right things and being a good person, he was all for it. And he always showed me that you could do whatever you want to do as long as you put your mind to it. we've been talking about some of those things on past videos, and it just made me think, like, this isn't, I'm not saying these things because I'm listening to them from Tony Robbins or Gary Vee or any of these other guys that I listen to. It's not coming, it's coming from that, but this has been stuff that's been told to me by not just these multi-millionaire speakers, but one of the wisest men I've ever known in my life, and that's my Grandpa Ted. He's been instilling this shit in my mind and in my soul and my body for my entire life, and it's become a driving passion, and it's woken me up clear as day, clear as this beautiful day behind me, that I have a driving purpose, and it's not just a purpose and a want of me, it's something that is needed. And I've been praying about this and thinking about this and talking about it, and it's scary and it's vulnerable, and it's a situation that sets me up for failure and to be ridiculed and all that stuff. And some of those people that may ridicule may be watching this right now. Some of those people that are going to be cheerleaders I know are watching it right now, and some of the people that have been promoting me to try and continue to do what I'm doing is definitely watching this and will continue to support. So I'm going to leave you with this. I've got stage 4 cancer. You guys know that. And I'm fighting for my life, and things are going good. And we're going to continue to fight. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to come out of this healthier and stronger than ever. Okay? I'm telling you this today, and in 5 years from now, I'm going to share this video back with you, and you guys are going to poop your pants, because I'm calling it right now. I'm going to be on a mission, and I've already talked to my team of doctors. My genealogy oncologist, he sits on the National Board of Cancer Research. Think about that, the National Board of Cancer Research. That's a guy on my team. Yeah, I've talked to him about this. We had an open conversation about what I'm about to tell you, and I'm going to work with him even, and I'm going to work with other people. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's a reason that there's 40-year-olds right now contracting all these cancers in their gastrointestinal area. Think about it, folks. Okay, think about how fast food stores, restaurants were on, some corners. We knew what they were, Taco Bell and McDonald's. There was just a few of them in town, okay? And a lot of the drive-thrus were the mom and pops, and they had the healthier alternatives. But then they had to start competing with these massive McDonald's and Taco Bells and KFCs and all these other guys that are out on every single street corner. That wasn't like that when our parents were growing up. And it boomed while we were. It's on every single street corner. That started when we were kids. Now we're in our 40s, and we're contracting all these, life-threatening diseases in our gastrointestinal area. I think that we're onto something. Okay. It's also the big boom of when big pharmaceutical companies started pushing every pill and known to man through every single doctor to get to us. It's also when you started seeing all the pesticides being sprayed from the skies. We grew up in this era, guys. Okay, there's things that have been done with GMOs and the things that are being put into our foods. I talk to people that spend a lot of time in the European countries, okay, that are telling me that the food there is nothing like what they call food here. It's disgusting what they feed us here, and it's disgusting what they're doing to us. So I'm making it my mission. I'm calling it right now. Okay, it's a very vulnerable situation, but if you stuck around this video this long, I know that they're long, but it is what it is. You can turn it off if you want. I'm going to uncover this. I'm going to work very hard because I've made it my mission already with the businesses that we have to make a difference with children. And I want to make a difference in everybody's lives as well. With the whole family, we've got a lot of things going on with that, but I'm also going to make it my mission to uncover the real reasons of why we're seeing the national FDA required ages for colonoscopies to be lowered. Thank God they are, but why? Why shouldn't we be making advances and not digressing? Why are we getting sicker younger? I don't know. I can go on for a while, guys. I'm gonna stop it now because it gets me fired up. But I want to say this: it's been a rough week, but I'm so awake and I'm so charged up, and my grandfather is doing well. He's fighting like a warrior does, like he's shown me for the last 41 years of my life. He's shown me every step of the way, and he will continue to fight. And he has left me such inspiration this week to really make a difference, because he always has told me to follow my heart and to follow my dreams and to do whatever I want to do. And he's given me that encouragement, and he's given me that voice, and he's given it to me right now. And because of his example it's on. And I'm meeting with my doctor team, and I'm meeting with the guy that I met with this last week again about what's going on, and we're going to get to the bottom of this, and we're going to make a difference in this world. So have a great Sunday. Barbecue with your family, have some fun. I know that's what we're going to do, but I'm going to get back home now. It's down there somewhere. I got a little walk ahead of me. But I love you guys. Sorry it's been 15 minutes, but hopefully you got something out of it. You are what you are. You are what you believe. So go get it. Peace out.